dance like my Scrappy did.
Hey everybody, my name is Squidprints and welcome to the Little Cup Tournament. This is going to be the first battle against my buddy Shelby from Team Alpha Academy. Now, what we have today is, let me just run through my team real quick. Right now, if you guys have seen my Luxray, I've done some battles with him. Luxray's nickname is Scar, and I'm running a Shinx who has Intimidate. It's literally like the same set. It's a physically based set with Wild Charge, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, and Volt Switch, and it is going to be Scarfed. Secondly, we have John Blaze, my Growlithe, who is my Violate, pretty much like my tank, one of my leaders of the team. He's got Intimidate, he's got Adamant, Max Attack, split defenses. Then we have Beamer, who is my Chinchou, who is my other wall. So I have a nice little wall card pretty much of well, like a mixed wall, so they're like offensive walls in my Chinchou and my Growlithe. And this I'm running T-Wave, Scald, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam, just for coverage on like ice types. If I can like catch them on a switch in with a T-Wave and hit them with an Ice Beam, that would be completely ideal. Both a Violate, so Growlithe and Chinchou are a Violate. Then we got Grimace, my Ghastly, who is going to be running Choice Scarf with Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Energy Ball, just for coverage. Because I didn't have access to Giga Drain on this one, just because I didn't breed this one back in 5th gen, I did it in 6th gen. Next is one of my favorites on the team. We got Shrew. It was my Sandshrew. I didn't have enough of Violates. I was fortunate to get 2 Violates, one from my X and one from my Y, but I do have Berry Juice on this guy. And let me tell you that going back to 5th gen and breeding this, I'm so excited that I did. It was literally like the last piece of the puzzle that I needed. I'm running Stealth Rocks, which is, you know, a transfer move, Knockoff, which is a transfer move. I have Earthquake, and I have Rapid Spin, because I don't want hazards on my side, I want hazards on my opponent's side. So I will be able to do that with Shrew. And finally, my main sweeper of the team is going to be Scraggy. I have 3 Pokemon with Intimidate. We have my Shinx, Growlithe, and my Scraggy. And most of my other walls are pretty much like specially defensive, because if I'm going to be juggling Intimidates, then most of my other things are going to be specially defensive, just so it evens out. But Scraggy has Drain Punch, Crunch, because I bred this one 6th gen, not in 5th gen for knockoff, because I wanted all my stats to be well-rounded. Poison Jab, Fairy Coverage, and Dragon Dance. Now Shelby, he's got a good team here. He's got Trico, an Unburdened Trico, Adaptability Eevee, Speed Boost and Torchic, a Trace, Porygon, Controversy, Inky, and whatever it is that Railu gets. But to start it off, this is what we got. Now, pretty much the premise of this team is to get myself in a situation with Jinx, or my Shinx, well, Jinkies, that's her name, the daughter of Scar. And now I want to get the Intimidate off so I can Volt Switch out, because I am Scarf, to go into my Scraggy and get a double Intimidate off and have them in a position where they can't do anything and Dragon Dance up and sweep from there. So here I end up getting Intimidate on the Railu. He's going to go for Bullet Punch. As you can see, that really does nothing. He's got Intimidate, it's resisted. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. And now from here I will get good damage. Like, I understand that I am more physically based, but that's for like later on. But at this point I just need Jinkies as like a setup. So I will be able to go into John Blaze the Growl, get a double Intimidate off. Now he's going to end up withdrawing here. I'm okay with that. That gives me the opportunity to go for a Flare Blitz on anything. Nothing on his team wants to take a Flare Blitz. He's going to switch into his Torchic. And, you know, even though it's fire on fire, this does way more damage than you know it should. It does pretty much 50%. Not very effective. I don't get any recoil from that pretty much. And he shows me here that he has the red card. Now this is going to force me out. And it's going to end up bringing me out into my Ghastly. Now, I don't want my Ghastly in right now. This is not the time for Ghastly to be in. So I was like, alright, go back. I'm going to go into my Shinx. Get the Intimidate off, because I'm sure I've seen, you know, Blaziken, I've seen Combusken. I know what they do. They pretty much Baton Pass, Speed Boost, and Swords Dance and all that. Turns out he just goes for the Flamethrower. And I'm like, alright. Poor Shinx ends up getting knocked out early. But I can still Intimidate Juggle with my Growlithe and my Scraggy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into Chinchou. I'm going to predict the Baton Pass and go for T-Wave for whatever comes in. So I completely nullify the fact that there are speed boosts there. Turns out he goes into Trico. And I didn't know this at the time, but he shows me that he's running white herbs. So now he gets his Unburden boost because I had the Intimidate drop, which is going to automatically, restore back to neutral. And now he's still at the speed. But the fact that I did T-Wave it on the way in ended up shutting it down, and then I can go for the Ice Beam on top of that. But the fact that he shows me that he has a white herb tells me Leaf Storm is definitely his top move. He can go for 2 Leaf Storms and completely demolish my whole team. Well, not my whole team, but he can take a really good chunk out of most of my team. Now, Porygon's going to come in, is going to trace the Volt Absorb, so now I'm pretty much forced to go for Scald or Ice Beams. I'm definitely going to go for Scald because it is Stab, and I will have a chance to burn. So here I do go for the Scald. I do get the burn. Turns out he shows me he's going with Blumberry. He's going to end up going for a Psychic. That really doesn't do anything to me. I am specially based within a Violet. I will be able to go for another Scald. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to kill him here. And I don't get the burn again. He's going to go for a Shadow Ball for cover. It ends up getting another crit. And I'm going to be able to go for another Scald and finally take him out. But now I'm in good position here. I can see what he wants to go into. He's going to end up going into his Eevee. I may possibly outspeed, may not. Eevee has adaptability, so it's like Eevee is a threat in Little Cup. Don't be fooled. Unfortunately for him, I do end up outspeeding him, and I end up getting the burn as well. So now he's got a burned Eevee, and now I see the perfect opportunity to go out there and get an Intimidate off. So I'm going to go into Dat John. This is my Scraggy, and I get the Intimidate off. So now you're burned and intimidated, and I'm able to go for Dragon Dances here, because there's literally nothing he can do for me. That's a guaranteed Dragon Dance if he wants to attack me, if he wants to switch out. Now, what he goes for here is a good play. He's going to go for Yawn. This is a good play because if he puts me to sleep, that stops my sweep, right there and then. Unfortunately for him, I know something that he doesn't. I'm running a special item on my Scraggy, and it's a Lumberry. Now, with my knowledge of knowing that, I can go for 2 Dragon Dances. He's going to go for a Return, Burn, Intimidate. It still does, more than I want to. Even after, pretty much -3, -3 in that. So I'm going to end up going to sleep. He's thinking that, alright, he could probably work with this, wait till he dies to burn, or he could switch out. I'm going to wake up, go for a Drain Punch, take him out, which is, fine. I'm at now +2. I got +2 speed, +2 attack, and I have Drain Punch to keep my health up. So, pretty much from here, there's not too much on his team that could really stop me. He can go into the Torchic, and with the Torchic, he'll be able to get a speed boost up, but he'd have to get a Double Protect, because without the Double Protect, there's no way he's going to outspeed me. And I don't know, if he's running more defensive just for baton passing purposes. I'm not sure what his EV spread is, but he's not going to be able to stop me at this point. After the Protect, I will be able to go for a Drain Punch, and the next Pokemon is going to be able to come in and see how they can try and deal with me. Now, I'm very excited about this team in general. The idea of the Intimidate juggling into the Dragon Dance to force him into a position where they really can't touch me. So it seems to be working well, as you can see here. I can go for the Drain Punch on the Inky. It's not going to be enough to take it out. It lives on 1 HP. He is going to hit me with an Aerial Ace. It does show me that he has leftovers. Remember, a Violet, it's not like Showdown. You literally can't put a Violet on everything unless you do a lot of trading or you got Power Save or something. So I am going to be able to knock it out with a second Drain Punch. And now he's going to end up going into his final Pokemon, which is going to end up being his Riolu. So pretty much a Drain Punch is going to end the match here. He's going to go for a last-ditch effort for the Bullet Punch. I do like the effort. If it was a crit, it probably would have took me down, and I could have went into, whatever. But that Drain Punch is going to end up being the end of the first game. So now that is going to end up being a 1-0. Now, as I said before, this tournament is round robin, and it's going to be consistent of best 2 out of 3. So this is our second battle. And now it gets a little interesting here because you learn about the team. You know what the idea is. Now he knows what my plan is. He knows that I need to get the Intimidates off on the right Pokemon. I need to, be weary of his what's it called? His Trico. Now he plays smart here. He knows I'm going to probably lead with Intimidate. He goes into Inky first, and it's going to counter and give him +1 instead of, work against him. So I'm going to end up going for a Flare Blitz. It almost knocks him out. He's going to end up going for a Dark Pulse here. I guess he had decided to run a mixed. Now, as my knowledge goes, I see that I'm going first. So I'm like, alright. I'm going to end up going... Well, it turns out he's going to go first here, showing me that we're at a speed tie. I ended up going for Morning Sun, you know, just to get some health back, to see what he was going to do, scout him out a little bit. And so I'm going to get some health back here. He's going to get a little leftovers recovery, but that's kind of irrelevant because the first Flare Blitz almost took him out. If I win the speed tie, then I'll get to knock him out, no problem. Turns out he wins the speed tie. He's going to be able to do a little bit of damage to me. I'm going to be able to go for a Flare Blitz and take him out. So now we're starting off early real nice. So Inky's gone. I don't have to worry about him contraring my Intimidates at all. And now, because I also survived that and went for the Morning Sun, I will get to see what he wants to go into. He's going to end up going to the Trico. Now, from this range of health, I'm pretty sure a Leaf Storm will be able to take me out. And I really have nothing that wants to take a Leaf Storm on my team. Unfortunately for him, I felt so bad. Leaf Storm misses. You know, this is a really good chance for him to really, you know, get after my team here. Because he would have got the Unburden boost. He would have been good with Leaf Storm. The only problem I do see with that set is that after, you know, the second Leaf Storm goes, you're stuck at -2, and you end up losing your Unburden for the rest of the match. But, you know, that's very unfortunate. I wish that it would have hit, you know, it would have made things a lot more, like, difficult, because dealing with that is hard as hell, and that Leaf Storm can literally take out my Chinchou, so I wouldn't have anything to really deal with it. Now, he's going to Intimidate me. I'm going to switch out, save my Intimidate for later. I'm going to go into Shrew. I'm going to set up my rocks. I want to set my rocks up. He ends up going for T-Wave. I'm not sure why. He may have forgot that I'm, you know, ground. I know a lot of Little Cup things, they don't share the same typing as their parents do, as in like double typing sometimes, but I'm pretty sure Sand Shrew and Sand Slash keep the same ground typing. But he's going to end up going for a Shadow Ball here as I knock off his Lumberry, and now I'm free to go for Earthquakes. I want to see how much this will do. Will take it out? I'm hoping it will. It turns out he lives on just a little bit. He's going to end up going for a second Shadow Ball. Or just a... Oh, that's right, because I got my Berry Juice. Shadow Ball is not going to be doing too much damage. We are going to be able to get another Earthquake off and be able to take him down. So now Inky and Porygon 2 are now gone. He's going to bring his Eevee out. Now, I got to see what I want to do here. I could go for a knock off its item. I can go for Earthquake. Excuse me, go for Earthquake, see how much damage I can do. I opt to go for knockoff here just to see what he was holding. Turns out he was holding the Silph Scarf. And even without that, the adaptability stab return is, you know, it's just a powerful thing. So beware of Eevee. Now, I'm going to go into my Jinkies here. And I can either go for the Volt Switch and try and juggle the Intimidates, or I can go straight for the Wild Charge and, you know, really just start pounding away at stuff. So I opt to go for the Wild Charge here. I am Scarf, so I'm going to be able to take out the Eevee and outspeed. I will take a little bit of recoil damage, but I'm not really too worried about that. He's going to be able to bring his Goku in. Now, Wild Charge, I'm sure, could probably do, you know, a good amount to this guy. But I'm going to end up opting to switch out here, because now I can start juggling the Intimidates. I can go into John Blaze, my Growlithe, get the Intimidate off, let him kill me off, and then get a free switch into whatever I'd like. Possibly one of my other Intimidate users, such as either my Jinkies again, or I can go into my Scraggy, start setting up Dragon Dances. So I opt to go back into my Shinx, Little Jinkies, get a double Intimidate off, so now he's at -2, and he's going to be forced to withdraw here. I figured either I could play this game where I can go for the Volt Switch again, or I can just go straight for the Wild Charge. And what I do is I opt to go straight for the Wild Charge, because there's really no reason not to. There's nothing really stopping me. I almost take the Torchic out, very close, but it's just not enough. Now, it turns out he's going to show me his red card once again. That is going to force me out, and it's going to send me right into Grimace. Now, he's going to end up going for the Protect here, obviously. You know, he needs to get at +1, outspeed me. I'm sure that Scarf Ghastly is like the main set for Little Cup. I'm not too positive. I just like running it because it helped me outspeed a lot of things. He's going to opt to go for the double Protect. He's not going to be able to get it. I will be able to go for the Shadow Ball. If he did get the double Protect, he would have outsped me and possibly hit me with something. I'm not sure if it would have OHKO'd me at all, but he definitely could have got a move off. He is going to be able to go into his Riolu here and see what he does. He ends up opting not going for the Bullet Punch, and I'm just going to end up going for the Shadow Ball. He realizes that there's not much he could do at this point, and that's going to end up being the first battle. Now, I did end up winning against Shelby 2-0, so that gave me 1 point. So right now in the tournament, we are sitting at 1-0. Hopefully we can keep this going. Like, I really like the idea of this team. By the way, Shelby, good game if you ever watch this. Now, the idea of this team is just something that I'm really excited about. I feel like they really have a good purpose, like my Monotype team. That's why I really enjoy, you know, like the tournament scene, is because I can create these competitive teams with like this out of the box idea. Well, I guess intimidate juggling isn't too out of the box, but to force my opponents into positions where they are forced to switch, and I pretty much, you know, have my way with their thought process in a way. Like I can control, or not really control, I can limit the options that they have to deal with me. Especially if I can get the stealth rocks up, it's gonna, you know, put a lot more offensive pressure on them. If they have Pokemon weak to that, it's gonna stop their option from switching into them. And you know, it's just a cool process. But let me know what you guys think of the team. Let me know what you guys think of like the idea behind it. What you think of the tournament so far. And stay tuned. And next week we will be back with another battle. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.